What if the answer to climate change has been blowing right past us all along? Could the wind itself be our greatest ally? For centuries, humans have relied on the wind, from sailing across oceans, grinding grain, even pumping water. But today, wind power is doing something far from urgent, and it is helping us combat climate change. According to the US Energy Information Administration, wind is not just clean, it is one of the most mature and viable renewable technologies we have. But the big question remains, can wind energy really make a dent in climate change? Let's find out. Wind energy is renewable because, well, the wind never stops blowing. Unlike coal or oil, it doesn't run out. A study by Shirangi Sakaihi and colleagues explains that wind energy captures atmospheric kinetic energy and essentially endless. Large-scale wind power significantly reduces carbon dioxide emissions by replacing fossil fuel-based electricity. In other words, every spin of a turbine is one less puff of greenhouse gas into our atmosphere. But wind is not just all about saving the planet. It is also about powering livelihoods. Wind turbines mean jobs like engineers, technicians, and environmental experts. Research by Osman and others 2022 shows that wind power is getting cheaper every year, lowering electricity cost. Meanwhile, Bronner and Schwegman 2022 found that local communities near wind projects often see higher household incomes. So wind doesn't just power homes, it powers paychecks. And here's the big one. Wind helps us kick the fossil fuel habit. In March 2025, fossil fuel fell below 50% of US electricity generation for time to time, thanks largely to record highs in wind and solar. Wind alone supplied nearly a quarter of US electricity. Ember Energy 2025. The International Energy Agency reports that between 2019 and 2024, wind power avoided around 900 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions every year. That's like taking almost 200 million cars off the road annually. If more countries scale up wind projects, fossil fuel demand could plummet worldwide. Wind energy is also one of the cleanest technology when it comes to carbon emissions. The International Energy Agency 2025 confirms that wind power expansion has already cut emissions on a massive scale. And according to Woodstock Mackenzie 2021, wind has some of the lowest life cycle emission of any energy technology, second only to nuclear power. That means from construction to operation to retirement, turbines leave behind far less carbon than fossil fuels ever could. And here's something people often overlook. Wind is good for land use. According to Lab Manager 2024, turbines and infrastructure usually take up only about 5% of a wind farm's land. The rest, it can still be used for farming or left as a natural habitat. In fact, Avada 2024 highlights that wind farms can be built on agricultural land without interrupting crops or grazing. Farmers can keep farming and earn additional income from hosting turbines, so wind doesn't compete with land. In fact, it shares it. So, can wind energy combat climate change? The answer is yes, but not alone. But it is a powerful piece of the puzzle. It's renewable. It boosts economies, It produces fossil fuels, it produces low carbon emissions, and it uses land wisely. The wind won't solve everything, but maybe it's exactly the push we need. The future is in the air.